My name is River Solace, my pronouns are they, them, and I am non-binary.
My name's Eva Echo, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a trans femme.
My name is Rico Chace, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm a black trans guy.
Hi, my name is Jason Kwan. I am queer non-binary and I use he, him pronouns.
Hey, I'm Alex, I'm non-binary, and my preferred pronouns are they, them, or he, him.
I was assigned male at birth, and that's something that never sat right with me. It's not who I was on the inside, that was just a label. So for me, being transgender means breaking away from that label, going against the grain, not being afraid to be my authentic self.
To me, to be trans, it's something to be proud of, and you've had the life experience that makes empathy, respect, and consideration of others come very naturally to us trans folk.
Being trans means freedom, it means liberation, it means accepting myself in the same way that my ancestors would.
For me, being non-binary is being able to combine all the beautiful aspects of myself, my personality, my identity to form the person I am.
To me, it means being fluid. My name, River, represents the ever-changing, ever-growing parts of who I am. It means forging my own path, being divergent from the norm.
Yes, I have experienced discrimination for being trans. I used to work in finance and trading floors, and I ended up with post-traumatic stress disorder from having severe amounts of homophobia on a daily basis. It took me 2 years to recover, and I had to relearn how to read, write and eat in a public setting.
When I first came out, we had clients choosing not to come back to us. I can't really make them come to me if that's what they choose. I've just got to make sure that I focus on who I am and staying true to what I believe the business should do.
My previous employer, there were 2 members of my grad scheme who, behind my back, spoke disrespectfully and mocked me and refused to call me my preferred pronouns.
Applying for jobs can be really difficult because there is no option to identify as non-binary, and that makes us feel like we're not welcome in workspaces.
When I first graduated university, I worked in recruitment, and it was a very heteronormative space, and I experienced quite a lot of homophobia and transphobia. And a lot of the time it was very passive. I really had to fight for me to be able to wear what I wanted to, even though it does not affect my work or my ability at all. When I was able to wear a blouse and pretty trousers to work, I felt empowered to just be myself.
Having a workplace that respects trans employees means that subconsciously people aren't going to be compensating. They won't be wasting their energy on how they're perceived and the tone of their voice. And so they have the right amount of energy and focus on their day job.
I was still recovering from PTSD when I came out as trans. I had an inkling that I felt more comfortable masculine presenting, and one of my co-workers said to me, "What's your pronouns?" I said, "I think they're he, him." I said, "Don't bother with it, don't worry too much." And they said, "No, your pronouns are your identity. We should respect that."
At my past workplace, on meeting this wonderful man, similar age to me, he straight away asked me what my pronouns were. And he filled me with so much confidence because he knew of they, them pronouns, and he clearly knew of transgender identities, and filled me with confidence that everyone else in the company would be as respectful. And so then I had the confidence to come out to other people at the company and actually also come out to members of my family who I hadn't yet come out to.
I didn't come out as trans in the workplace until after I'd come out to my social circle, simply because I needed that support and I needed that time. Being trans in the workplace is trying to let people know that I'm still the same person. Just because I present differently, that doesn't mean that I can't do the job all of a sudden. I can still do the job, I can just be me while I do it.
So as a freelancer, I'm very open about my gender and my sexuality on my social media. So when people hire me, they tend to already know my pronouns and how I identify. But sometimes it's really difficult when I meet new co-workers. I have to reintroduce myself. I have to come out again and again. I think lots of cisgender straight people hold a lot of privilege in that regard because they don't have to figure out if a space is safe before they introduce who they are.
It took me quite a while to find the right words to describe my gender identity because I didn't have the discourse growing up in Hong Kong. And when I met other non-binary people, I started to really understand their journey, and I realized that I was also non-binary. And for me, it's still something that I am working on and figuring out because My gender identity is something that's so hard to pin down onto one label. I'm still learning about myself every day.
Being an ally is about the willingness to learn, having an open mind in order to learn new information and to hear stories from members of the community. You're not going to get it correct the first time. I don't get it correct the first time, but the importance is to try and recognise the individuality of people and to accept that and embrace it.
And the most important thing is to create space. We are a marginalised gender, so we have often been left out of certain communities and certain spaces, so please create space for us.
People can be an ally by speaking up. They can do things as simple as including pronouns in their bio, speaking up for trans people, even sharing posts and information that's correct. But you can always go one step further as well and be active about it. Look for ways that you think, okay, well this isn't right, this needs to be more inclusive, and go ahead and put that change in place. It doesn't need to come from a trans or non-binary person. They don't need to be massive changes. Even little things like putting sanitary towel bins in all the toilets or even having gender neutral toilets can make a massive difference.
I think in the future it would be amazing if we had better legislation for genderqueer people, make non-binary a legally recognised gender identity, more education, more awareness starting from a young age, understanding what non-binary means, what transgender means, and making children feel understood when they grow up.
I think the future for genderqueer people is beautiful. I hope we reach a point in the future where there is enough learning, understanding, and listening for genderqueer people's experiences to be normal and everyday.
Keep going, it will get better, find your safe space, and just be yourself.
It took a really long time for me to get onto this journey to figure out who I was. And so really take your time and don't put pressure on yourself. Your experiences are ever changing and ever growing, and your journey never stops.
It may feel like there is no one in the entire world that could possibly understand what you're going through, but I promise you there are people that will always understand, and there is support out there for you.
Be yourselves, be your own kind of beautiful. There is only one of you, so don't worry about who else, is doing what. You focus on you and don't let anybody tell you you can't be who you are.
Not everyone is born a carbon copy of everyone else. People are individual. We've all got unique fingerprints.